I didn't want to leave the house, so that's why I've gone with these things that we have in our fridge. Now yesterday, I think some of you would have seen, or I guess that was 2 days ago. Time flies. I have fun. Me use one of my favorite kitchen gadgets, and that's my pineapple core. So like this is day 3 with my pineapple here, and it's doing well, and it's just gonna come in a lot of uses. Like no waste around here, desperate times. So and I mean you're probably gonna get like probably eight or nine masks out of this thing. So really valuable piece of food to have around. So what I've done is I've just taken it and sectioned it off here. There you go, see? And so there's 2 masks right there from that one piece of pineapple. And once it's cut up, nice there, and then we'll just move into the other room once I show you these items here I've got, and we'll do the finishing touches on them. And then an orange. And what you can see I've done here is I've just taken my orange and sectioned it off there and scooped it out. Just need a regular good old kitchen spoon for that. You're just gonna pop it in there and scoop her out. And again, 2 oranges. The really cool thing about this one I find is it's like for those essential oil people, like you don't even need to waste your valuable oils on this because you're breathing in like natural oranges there. And another useful thing about this is oranges come in all different sizes, right? So this size is probably good for like a 5-year-old, whatever, but you can go right down to the little mini mandarins, like tiny little cutie mandarins, I think they're called. And those will do just the tiniest little baby's mouth and nose, and right up to the navel oranges for you adults. And then moving on, now the tutorial I saw used romaine, but I just have my kale. And I actually got thinking about this kale, and I mean, this is coming near the end of its life, so again, I'm just being really resourceful with what I have, what the Lord provided me with. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I was thinking about how this works. And in your nose, you got all these little passages and little nares. And what they work to do is like increase the surface area and catch all the bad germs and microbials as they float into your nose, right? Because they got to go through more, so it just increases surface area, filters everything out. And I was just admiring how kale is basically the same thing, because like all those little rivets of like little curly things, like there's so much going to get trapped in there before it can even get into the middle of your piece of kale. So that's a really good one, and it can be adjusted to size. So just going to leave these here, or take them on in, and we'll get to work on them. So I went with a pretty colorful tie here on these, but if you wanted, you could go with something more that's going to camouflage right in. People won't even notice it's on you because it's just, matches so perfect. So whichever you prefer. I'm going to put another loop on the other side of my little orange there and just tie her in the back. And that's it. Like that's going to cover the mouth and nose, and just keep all those harsh microbials out of us. I got started. Didn't want to waste your time because I know you're all really busy. And as we go along, you'll see how this works. But I still need to cut one more hole over here. And I just haven't done that just because I wanted to show you how I go about doing that. So what I did is I put this tail on my head. I don't know if I can show you. Let me try. Okay, so, and you're going to notice, like, okay, how do I switch the camera? Just a second. Okay, so what I did here was I just put it on, and I just made, I used marker, but as you can see, my first attempt was a little off. It's just a little high, so remarked and tried again. And this is perfect, like perfect placement. It's good. And that's fine. Those just look like some eyebrows, so no big deal. And where the one is over here on the side doesn't really matter, because I'll show you in a minute what this is. And you actually have pretty good peripheral view. You'd be surprised. Now, oxygen flow is an issue, and obviously when we're already dealing with coronavirus, that can't happen. So that I'm going to help you with that. Don't worry, okay? So, moving on here. Caught my breath there. And so yeah, I just wanted to show you how I went out about cutting all these holes. And there's a couple options. Now again, depending on what kind of, like I got that scalpel, which is really sharp, so it could do the trick. But for those of you that just don't feel comfortable with sharp knives pointing at you and stuff, like don't play with that scalpel, okay? Okay, so what I did, this is pretty cool. Now this is where the fire comes in, and what I discovered is that this plastic can actually light on fire. What happens is, like, it catches on fire and then it melts and drips onto your, like, clothes. So that's why I have the fire extinguisher around. And on a nice day, you should probably go outside and try this. So what I did here, a couple techniques. First of all, you can just light her on fire. Not even on fire, but just melt it. Look at this, watch. You don't want the fire extinguisher going off and scaring everyone in your building. Okay, that's pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is just stir, smoke. So just poke it in there. Slowly, you're just going to work away at it, okay? Or another technique is you take now you can see from this one because I've used it quite a bit, but you're going to take that and heat it up. And then just go around, and it's just going to just melt like butter because you got a nice hot blade. Okay, this one's cool, and then as it cools down, it's gonna get a little trickier, so just heat it up again. No big deal. All right, I'm gonna finish this one off, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I just wanted to show you how it actually screws right in. You can screw these out, put a new one in. It's pretty incredible how they just screw in and out. A little tricky one-handed, but oh, look at that. See? And then you can just replace your filters whenever needed. Amazing. Now, we still have a problem with, you want some air in there. So what you're going to do is on the end of your little bottle, there's a little, well, let's just call it a dimple. A dimple, kids. Okay? So you're going to just kind of go with the same technique as I did, melting or cutting a hole in there. That's going to be your air source, your source of air. We still have one problem, and that's the air still needs to be filtered as it gets through to us. So here's where things take a turn, and you gotta get some more supplies, which I forgot. So hold up. Okay, so this air is getting breathed into you, so you want to use something sanitary that it's just your airways going through it. So something really clean and sanitary. It's going to help filter things through. So just use whatever you got around. For the purpose of this video, we're just going to use some paper towel as an example. And we're just roll it up. There's some other things you may have laying around that are the perfect size to fit right in there. What you're going to do is, well, you can do, obviously, it's up to you, but essential oils right in there, and that way you're just breathing through like just the good old healthy oils into your lungs. I'm sure someone can pitch in here and give us a good mixture, whether you want the rejuvenation one of like oranges, or if you want like something that's healthy for your lungs, like I don't know, tea tree oil, or my favorite, eucalyptus. Okay, so screwing them right in. Look at that. Now, what you're going to do is, now these have a pretty good seal on them, but you can see a little tiny crack in there. So you're just going to fill that with our good old paintable, flexible exterior silicone. All right, and let it dry. It's going to hold those in. I mean, these are pretty secure. They're not going anywhere, But that's just extra protection. Keep all the diseases out. Now, as for the eyes, again, we want to keep things out. And so I had an idea, and then I changed my idea because I didn't want to use my blue bottles to seal up my eye holes because, things would look a little blue. And we don't need that right now. So you should all have like Gatorade around. I've got a pack of 32, And because, that's one of the things you're supposed to have on hand during this pandemic, in case you get sick. And, like, these are perfect, like, clear as a bell. So, finish that off. Whew, a lot of drinking going on here again today. And I'm gonna, so here's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, I should cut the end off and just, like, pop on the end, right? But then I thought, extra safety measure here. If I screw these in, then, again, that's creating more surface area before the germs can get to my eyes. But also, this comes as an extra safety precaution because, like, nobody can get very close to me to hug me. And we just don't want people hugging us right now. Like, keep your distance, people. No hugging. Like, I think for the next, probably 10 years, we should just refrain from hugging and keep everyone safe. So what I decided to do was just screw those in and go from there. Hold up. All right. Look at that. And then obviously, now it just comes the aesthetics of the whole thing. So I'm going to have some fun with that. And, if you're making a mass production of these, like, your kids can get involved at this point. We're done with fire and weapons, knives, sharp objects. So get out those googly eyes, get out that sparkle, and have some fun, people. Okay, so I promised I'd model. So as you can see, I'm very well protected under here. My nose is sealed right in there, and smells so fresh. Reminds me of spring. So that's your kale. Can be done with lettuce, but again, loving the surface area here to minimize germs. So then I'll just display a pineapple. Okay, yeah, so I can see how this one's working. You just gotta keep an eye on it. Keep it up. I just guess I don't have it tight enough. My fault. Better. Ah, there we go. I can see how it works. Smells tropical. Yeah, sorry. Okay, so this one is definitely my favorite. The smell. I can't even begin to describe. I mean, I think I could do this after Corona. Like, it's so invigorating. I can see the benefits of essential lemon oil and citrus. Moisturizing, just keeping, like, I'm just breathing in, like, moisture just deep into my lungs, which just feels healthy, just feels good. So yeah, this is definitely one of my favorites of the natural ways we've gone, but I do know the benefits of the more high-tech one that we built, so I'm gonna try that, and that's probably what I'll use, and that's what I suggest for you. So let me get that on and take a look. Alright, so here we go, and feeling secure in this thing. Like, there's nothing getting in there to get me. The airway, I'm breathing well through my little vent holes there in my little filters over here. And the only final step you really need to do is you're going to want to seal yourself in there. Just because there is a lot of airspace in here. So just some handy dandy home grade saran wrap, and just a couple of wraps of that around, and you're sealed in. You're good. Nothing ain't getting you. Yeah, I could live in this. I like the personal space it provides me. Feeling good in here. Awesome.